This is a kind of a new deal from Holley. A lot of people ask, about remote mounting their sensors so that it doesn't vibrate on the engine. These pressure transducers or map sensors, they can fail when they're mounted directly to the engine. I personally haven't had any, failures with stuff mounted directly to the engine, but it is a good practice to remote mount these things onto something sturdy. Don't, vibrate and get beat to death. They're expensive. Again, I got a bunch of them. I've never had any failures, but it could happen. The cheap ones, I've had two fail of these cheap ones from, I think these come from like eBay or Amazon or something. And they come in a couple different varieties, different pressures and whatnot. They all take the same plug, but I think it was these brass style that failed on me. But I haven't had any of the SSI sensors fail on me. Anyway, so remote mounting these things will give it a little bit longer life. This thing, I think it was only like $35 or $38, something like that, which is kind of nice. The thing I actually like about this is, like with my personal car, they give you mounting bosses here. It might be a little bit hard to see here, but here you go. So anyway, there's a recessed hole there, so that you can mount it up against something like this, but they also give you a recessed hole here. So you can mount it in 3 of the 4 different sides can be mounted up against something. So my plan was to actually mount it up against a firewall like this, as if this table was the firewall. And then I'll drill, I'll drill 4 holes here, well, 6 holes, 4 for the pressure transducers, and then 2 for the mount. And then you can screw your pressure transducers from the backside from the firewall so that they're all actually in the engine bay, or out of the engine bay. Less wire going through the firewall, and it's sealed off. So I'll probably wind up cutting a like a rubber gasket for this thing. But they sent it with some plugs, so if you don't use them all, or whatever, if you put the sensor here and then the pressure source here, you got to plug here. So, but it's 1/8 inch NPT. It's not any goofy like ORB fittings or anything like that. It should clean this. It should clean up installs and engine bays a little bit. And they also, something that it seems like a lot of companies miss the mark on, but Holley actually didn't on this one. A mounting template. This is important. Cut this thing out or whatever and tape it onto the firewall, and now you won't screw it up. So anyway, for the 30 or 40 bucks or whatever it was, it's a heck of a lot cheaper than some of the other options I've seen out there. And it's a 4-bank where some of the other ones are only 1 or 2. Some of them are 4, but for 40 bucks, it's kind of a no-brainer here. Anyway, that's all I got. See ya.